All right, let's get right into it. So you did it. You got the new job, you're excited, you're ready to go, but there's just one thing standing in your way. And it's probably one of the most stressful conversations you can have at work, giving your 2-week notice. It really should be straightforward, but a lot of times it's anything but. So picture this. You walk into your boss's office. You've rehearsed what you're going to say. You deliver the news like a total pro, and then they hit you with it. The one thing you were hoping they wouldn't say. They push back. They tell you 2 weeks just isn't going to cut it. It's a super common situation, and man, does it crank up the anxiety. So what do you do now? You've done everything by the book, right? You've followed the unwritten rule of the professional world. But now, all of a sudden, you're in this really awkward, high-pressure spot. You're feeling that pull of loyalty to your team, but you also have this brand new commitment to your future job. And that right there is the classic 2-week dilemma. Hearing these words, it's like a punch to the gut. It's designed to put you on the back foot, to make you feel a little guilty. And your mind just starts racing, doesn't it? You start thinking, am I letting them down? Am I being totally unreasonable? They want you to feel responsible for their transition period. Okay, but let's be fair for just a second. Let's try to see it from their side. Why do companies even ask for more time in the first place? Well, the truth is, hiring is a really messy, complicated process. And it's almost never as simple as finding someone great in just 2 weeks. So that brings us to the real heart of the issue, doesn't it? Is 2 weeks actually a fair amount of time? And honestly, the answer isn't a simple yes or no. The thing is, when it comes to hiring a replacement, not all jobs are created equal, not by a long shot. And this slide really breaks it down perfectly. I mean, look at the difference. For some jobs, yeah, a company could probably find a decent replacement in just a few days. But for those really specialized roles, the ones that need a very specific skill set, we're talking that could easily take a few months. The timeline is all over the place. And this brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this whole thing. It is the fundamental mindset shift you absolutely have to make the second you decide to leave. It's all about knowing where your responsibility ends and where theirs begins. Just let that sink in for a second. Whether it takes them 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months to find the next person, that is a business challenge. That is an operational issue for them to solve. It is their job to manage staffing. It is not yours. To put it another way, your only real obligation is to make sure you hand off your duties as smoothly as possible within that 2-week window. The company's long-term hiring plan? Yeah, that's just not on your plate anymore. Okay, so you've got the right mindset. That's step one. But what do you actually say in the heat of the moment? How do you handle that conversation? Well, let's get into the practical stuff. Your playbook for responding with total confidence. It really comes down to this simple 3-step game plan. The whole key here is to be polite, but also really firm and clear. This is not the time for a big debate or a long negotiation. You just need to follow these 3 steps. This is your go-to line. And notice what it's not. It's not an apology. It's not you asking for permission. It's a simple statement of fact. You have a commitment to your new job, and you're going to honor it. It's professional, it's respectful, and it's completely non-negotiable. So what if they push back again? You don't need to come up with a new reason. You just become a polite, broken record. Saying, I understand that, shows you heard them, but you're not caving. And then you just calmly state your reality again. Trust me, calm repetition is amazingly powerful. Now look, being firm doesn't mean you need to burn the whole bridge down on your way out. You can absolutely be a team player and offer to help out. The key words here are within reason. You could offer to sit in on some interviews or help train the new person if, and that's a big F, they're hired before you go. And this script, this is pure gold for setting a boundary after you've already left. You're showing you're willing to help, but you're also making it crystal clear that it has to happen off hours. Why? Because during your new work hours, you're going to be 100% focused on your new job. It protects you and it protects your new role. All right, let's hit one last classic question. You know it's coming, that sometimes awkward, kind of nosy question about where you're headed next. Just remember, you are under absolutely no obligation to tell them a single thing. And there it is, your perfect response. It's the ultimate professional dodge. You're politely saying, that's none of your business, without actually saying it. It keeps your private life private and keeps the conversation on track. So if you only take one thing away from all this, let it be this right here. Giving 2 weeks notice is you meeting a professional standard. Staying any longer than that is you doing them a massive personal favor, a favor you are not required to give. You need to treat this like the standard business transaction it is. When you really think about it, getting good at this conversation is really about getting good at setting clear professional boundaries. It's what protects your career, your energy, and your sanity. Which kind of leaves us with one final thought. Now that you know how to ace this one, what's the next professional boundary you're going to set?